It is a brand new episode of Flyers Daily brought to you by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. To talk about the week that was, some hockey, and to talk about another great dog, which I don't think we should have a hard time finding a home for this dog, kind of like King Silly a week ago, is joining us, Flyers head coach John Tortorella. Torts, how you doing?
Very good, Jason. How are you? Through the
I'm
process.
okay. Hanging in there. And you guys at this time of year, I mean, you see the schedule. I know you map out your season and your practices and everything, and sometimes you got to pivot on the fly anyway. This condensed schedule is just it's really difficult down the stretch to tweak things, kind of work some things through it as you go through a really important time of the year.
Yeah, and we lose a couple of stinkers. We haven't played well the last two after playing pretty well for a couple of weeks. You want to coach them. You want to put time into it. You want to tape it. You got to be really careful, though. You got to be selective in what you're doing as far as how many games we have coming up here. So we're gonna pick and choose our times to do things. As a coach, you want to try to fix everything. We feel there's a couple of important things that we need to do, and that's what we'll touch on. But it's also a time to get them out of the building. It is just to try to refresh them mentally. So we're kind of fighting through that right now, especially when you play a couple of lousy games.
Yeah, and you get a super unforgiving opponent in Winnipeg who you beat a week before. Beating the same team twice in a week is not easy to do. The other thing, too, you have this pressure of the deadline, and whether you're a team that there's a lot of expectations for a team to add as they go down the stretch, and then there's some expectation for some teams to take away, to make trades and sell. And to have players have to try and play through that.
Yeah.
I just wish the league would shut it down for a day.
Yeah.
So nobody's got to try and play a hockey game while people are looking at their phones, worrying if a guy should be in the lineup or out of the lineup or going to get pulled out of the lineup in the middle of a game. To me, you don't do the advantage of a good hockey game anything by having a game when all this is going on. These are human beings; their lives are uprooted.
Yeah, you're as a coach, you're never trying to look for excuses, but it does affect people, and
not.
You have no heart if it doesn't affect you. Like I spoke to the team after the first period. Can't tell you exactly what I said, but I did allude to. I know it's hard, and I'll talk as a group, as a team, to watch other teams now start loading up on players because they're going to take a run at it, right? And they're making deals. They're trading away their draft picks to get that one depth guy, that another guy, and they're loading up for the playoffs. We got a pretty steep hill to climb to get in it, and we have been very transparent as that we are sellers. We continue to go about it that way, especially for some of the Coots and Konechny and Lotz and some of the older guys that want to get back to the playoffs to see last year Scotty Walker goes, right? And that hurt us. I've talked to a couple players just this morning as we get near the deadline here, because I've had to talk to a couple players because their names are in it. Yeah. And it hurts them. It knocks them down. It does. It takes the wind out of you where other teams are getting juice, that they're getting this guy and that guy. And so that affects things, and it's my job to try to police that and try to keep us going in the right direction. It's not an easy one because these guys care. They want to be at the end of the year where the really fun stuff happens, and we're still a distance away, and we're going to sell again. And 3 years in a row since I've been here, I think it's the right thing to do, but it's still very hard for players to keep fighting through it. And so I feel for them. But I also have to run the team and get us trying to be more competitive as we play our next game.
Yeah, just imagine all your friends get an invitation to go to a really good party, but you somehow don't get one. Yeah. There's a feeling of missing out. Yeah. And we all know this. First round of the playoffs are disgusting. I mean, they're crazy. The hockey's bananas, the environment's bananas, and everybody wants to be a part of it. But I remember back a couple of years ago, I got this, when it comes to hockey, nothing else in my life, Torts, I remember long-term things about hockey, but nothing else in my life. And I remember a couple of years ago, when you guys are taking it on the chin a few times,
Yeah.
you told the guys at that time, if you're going to be here, remember this.
Yeah.
Remember what this feels like.
Yeah.
And when you're coming back, maybe you want to deliver some extra heavy beatdowns on the way back up as these teams are falling down. It's important for players to remember these things that they're missing out on right now.
It's a huge part of the experience of a mindset of what you need to make the playoffs. It's a huge part of this is playoffs is what makes your legacy as a player, and players want that opportunity to show who they are. So as you're getting kicked in the head and a couple of uppercuts here and there along the way, you just got to keep on putting it onto the foundation of, okay, we just got to keep staying with it, take it, lick our wounds, and try to get better. And the organization has been transparent. I think it's very close to where we start making some moves to where we're looking at another way of it, of trying to find a way and not just collecting draft picks. And I think time is close, but it's hard. It's hard for these guys that, they might be on the outside. I'm not saying we're done, but it's a tough hill for us. There are a number of teams fighting for those two spots. Past two outings, we haven't helped ourselves. As games get down in numbers, it gets very difficult to get there. But I do believe these are the huge part of experiences of becoming a really good team.
What is your philosophically? What is your as a coach? You get a team that you know is going to make the playoffs. You're pushing down the stretch. Yeah, we could improve our third line left wing. We could get a penalty killer. An add player. What is your philosophy? Because sometimes I think adding players is bigger for media and fans than it is for team, because you have a group in there that puts a team into position, and there's a really delicate balance here not to upset what happened already this season. I think it's really important for people to remember that.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's one general managers talk about all the time as they're doing this, because it's easy to if you have cap space and you're able to do it, it's easy to keep on plucking players and bringing them to you, but you got to be careful with the chemistry of that locker room, because there's egos in there, right? And there's a camaraderie in there that has got to the spot where the general manager says, hey, we're a pretty good team, let's add. But you got to be really careful the situations that's added. To me, I always look at the back end. I think, if you want to take a long run in the playoffs, you better have some more defensemen. You better have 8-9 defensemen, maybe one from your minor leagues and a couple other depth guys, because you're going to go through them. That position is something needed if you think you're going to take a long run through. Everybody's looking to go 4 rounds, right? If they want to win the Stanley Cup, they want to go 4 rounds. Defensemen are a premium when it starts getting there.
No doubt. It can be a war of attrition, and that back end takes an absolute beating.
Certainly does.
All right, let's transition to our Hounds segment of the show. We had great dog last week. We had another good dog this week. Now, this dog doesn't come to us with the greatest story. Our dog this week comes from the PSPCA with the name of Bright Eyes. Not Blue Eyes, not like Sinatra. This is the dog version, Bright Eyes. Pit bull mix, about 52 pounds. She's a sweet girl. She had a rough start. She came to the PSPCA emaciated, but they've done great work with her already, because she's really regained her weight, struggling in her kennel, but has been spending her days with the staff members of the office, and she's gotten rave reviews. Once she's out of the cage, she seems to really shine, and we need to foster immediately to get her out of that cage permanently and that permanent home. I'll show you some video of her. And Torts, the dog was emaciated, but you could really see some great bone structure. On this Bright Eyes dog. Yeah,
you still see a little bit of her, but they've taken well care of her. I mean, she still looks a little light, but oh my God, look at the ear. I mean, she's just gorgeous. What's her name?
That Bright Eyes.
Bright Eyes. Yeah.
There's a little sadness in her eyes.
Yeah.
That can be changed.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what she looked like before they got it, but she looks pretty healthy right now. Doesn't get as far as in the home. What's your thought as far as with other animals? Is that okay? Not okay?
Let me give you some more info. She charming dog, zest for life. Absolutely loves going on exploring, whether it's a long stroll or just kind of getting after it in the backyard. Bright Eyes is always eager to discover new scents and new sights. So a very inquisitive dog with her irresistible personality. She enjoys leaning in for some gentle pets and affection. Always ready to share her love with human friends. She is open to meeting dog savvy kids and prefers to be the only animal in the home, at least at this point. So, a great situation for a fawn. Look at the muscle structure on the back hind legs. Boy, she's got some power.
Yeah. Maybe it seemed like you were telling me off air that they have her in the office sometimes, and it seems like this is the perfect road for her, if not just a straight adoption, is just giving her a chance in a foster, just to get her into a home life.
Yeah,
we don't know
a lot. They come in the morning. Whoever's working PCSPAs, whoever gets in first, they find that dog that's there that they let out. That's just hangs out with the staff.
Yeah, that's great.
And they go right to her cage, Bright Eyes cage. Boom, you're out for the day. You're hanging with us. And dog mops up on the floor, chewing some toys, maybe jumps around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I really, really, what a beautiful, beautiful colors on the dog. And again, this is a dog like last week, only 3 to 4 years old. A lot of life in front of this dog. So,
I don't think she's going to be there. I don't think she's going to be there that long.
No, this is not going to be our hardest sell.
Yeah, there are a few other ones that are harder than this one here. So, you don't want to, but I wish sometimes we could see the before picture, just to lend some thought on how these organizations, how well they do with these animals when they find them. And who knows what the stories are? There's some horror stories out there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's great. The shelters do such a fantastic job with these animals.
They really do. It's kind of like, remember the old show, like Extreme Makeover Home Edition or whatever?
Yeah, yes.
The before and after. These dogs come in, they are really beat up. Like it's very sad. Yeah. And then to see the state and the love that the SPCA or PAWS and these volunteers and these people doing selfless work that they do to get these dogs to see what they look like in these videos and rather quickly. Yeah. To me, it's remarkable. It's tremendous stuff. All right. So for all the information on Bright Eyes, again, at the PSPCA, you go to the Adoption Hockey and Hounds homepage at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/hockey and hounds. And we've got all the info there on Bright Eyes, the program, all the dogs, everything. Again, adoption info on Hockey and Hounds homepage at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/hockey and hounds. Also have an event coming up on the 15th, coming up in just about a week. March 15th, we'll be live at the Philadelphia Brewing Company for our Catterday adoption event on North Shore Tour for Life. Now, we'll have adoptable cats there from noon to 3. They're ready to head home with their families. So they'll be on location, ready to go from location to said forever home. So make sure you check out that. Again, March 15th at the Philadelphia Brewing Company on noon to 3 on that Saturday. So check that out as well. Torts, have a great week. We'll talk next week. We'll see where things stand post deadline and in the midst of this long, long homestand. Have a great week, and we'll talk then.
All right, Jason. And again, you look good to me. I know it's not been easy for you, but keep on banging away here.
Get your vision checked, and we'll talk next week.
Okay, bud. I'll see you next week.